Anchor. Good evening. As we continue our special report on the Oslo peace process of the 1990s, it's important to remember that while the decade was marred by violence, it was also a time of profound hope and activism among ordinary Israelis. When the Oslo Accords were announced in 1993, a majority of the Israeli public supported the bold step toward peace. Polls from that period show that upwards of 60% of Israelis favored the agreements, seeing them as a historic opportunity to end decades of conflict and bloodshed. There was a widespread desire to finally normalize relations with their Palestinian neighbors and to create a safer, more secure future for the next generation. This hope was powerfully visible in the streets. Throughout the 1990s, Israel saw some of the largest peace demonstrations in its history. Perhaps the most iconic event was the Rabin Rally in Tel Aviv's Kings of Israel Square, now Rabin Square, on November 4, 1995. Over 100,000 Israelis, men and women, young and old, gathered under the banner of peace, holding candles, waving signs, and chanting slogans in support of the process. Prime Minister Yitzhak Rabin, who spoke at the rally, famously said, "I was a military man for 27 years. I fought as long as there was no chance for peace. I believe that there is now a chance for peace, a great chance, and we must take advantage of it for those standing here and for those not here, and they are many." Tragically, just minutes after delivering these words, Rabin was assassinated by an Israeli extremist opposed to the peace agreements. His death shocked the nation, but also sparked an outpouring of grief and renewed calls for peace. In the days following his assassination, hundreds of thousands of Israelis attended vigils, laid flowers, and lit candles in his memory. The slogan, "Shalom Chaver," goodbye friend, became a symbol of national mourning and commitment to Rabin's vision. Peace activism remained strong even in the face of Hamas's brutal suicide bombing campaign. Organizations like Peace Now and the Four Mothers movement mobilized thousands of citizens, demanding continued negotiations and a political resolution to the conflict. Rallies and marches for peace were common in Tel Aviv, Jerusalem, and other cities, even as fear and anxiety gripped the public in the wake of repeated terror attacks. Many Israelis held on to the belief that only dialogue and compromise could end the cycle of violence, despite the enormous pressure of living under constant threat. As the decade progressed, the initial optimism faded under the weight of tragedy and disappointment, but the legacy of the peace movement remains. The mass rallies and public support of the 1990s demonstrated the deep yearning for peace in Israeli society and the willingness of so many to take risks for a better future. This concludes our special report, reflecting on a time when hope and tragedy walked side by side. Stay with us for further analysis and coverage.